Just when we were ready to crown the Boston Celtics your 2024 NBA champions, the Dallas Mavericks come out in Game 4 and just completely dominate them. They were up by 48 points at one point, and I'm not going to get my hopes up yet, unless they win Game 5 tonight, but at least the Mavericks got some life.
I was gonna say, at the very least, we snake bit them for a week. You can thank us, America. The synthetic sports curse strikes again. We extend the series to Game 5. Will they extend the series again to Game 6? Maybe. I'd like to see it, though.
Before we start talking about if the Dallas Mavericks can do the impossible, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss on any new videos. So just like Game 3, the Mavericks start off the game hot. I mean, a layup from Luka gave a 9-point lead with just under 3 minutes left to go in the first. Then Derek White just gets this ridiculous three off a jump ball, and I kind of felt like that was a momentum play early on for the Celtics, that maybe like they could cut into the lead from here, but then the Mavericks respond. Kyrie and PJ Washington both hit threes, so they take a 13-point lead at the end of the first. And then in the second quarter, Dallas just kept extending that lead. I mean, they were making hustle plays. There was that one where Kyrie tracked the ball down the corner. He found Luka down low for an and one. And really the big difference, the key we've been saying all finals, was the role players for the Mavericks stepping up. And this game was finally the game they did.
Well, I mean, Derek Lively comes out and hits the first three-pointer of his career. Who had that on their Game 4 bingo card? Like,
no one.
Of all players for the Mavericks to finally make a three, it's going to be the center, Derek Lively. But he wasn't the only one. Dante Exum was hitting some threes. PJ Washington hit a couple. Tim Hardaway Jr., after going 0 of 7 in Game 3, went 5 of 7 from deep. Now, they were pretty much all in garbage time when the game was already decided. But you know what? It's good for a shooter to see a few go in the hoop. Maybe he can carry that over to tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Even Maxi Kleber got involved. He hit a three with 9 seconds left in the second, and that gave the Mavericks a 26-point lead entering the half. The Celtics had 35 points. That was their lowest point total the entire season. I'm sure there's numerous quarters where they've scored more than that. So credit to the Mavericks on defense. They were doing such a better job. Luka especially, he heard the criticism. He was trying to stay in front of guys.
He heard Brian Windhorst roasting his ass.
Yeah, exactly. Their closeouts were better. Josh Green was even making some hustle plays. Some of it was Boston missing shots, but like, if the Mavericks can carry this defense into Game 5, that gives them a chance, because we talked about it all year. They were built on that defense.
Yeah, I mean, ever since acquiring Gafford and Washington at the trade deadline, they had been one of the best defensive teams in the entire league. And I mean, you could tell they came out with that mentality of like, look, the season's on the line, guys. Like, we got to lay it all on the line, give everything you have. Because I mean, if we lose, we're done. Season's over. Dream's dead. I mean, Dream's kind of already dead. They're still down 3-1, but in theory, someone has to come back from 3-0 eventually. And the Mavericks are probably thinking, you know what? Why not us?
Yeah, Jason Kidd even had that like pregame speech they showed where he's like, I hope everyone's packed for Boston, because yeah, they still think they're alive. I mean, that's the mentality you have to have. And in the second half, they quickly put things away. Kyrie had a big third quarter. He had 10 points. Derek Lively, they found for a couple dunks. And then in the fourth quarter, we talked about it. How about Tim Hardaway Jr.? Can he carry this shooting into Game 5 at all? I don't know how much he'll actually play, but dude said, F it, let me get some finals points here real quick.
Dude turned into MJ in Game 1 of the 92 finals when the game was already decided. You know, it's a 40-point lead, and he's finally like, you know what? Now's a good time to start making some threes. What was that shit his dad said about like, oh, he needs to play more in the finals or whatever?
Yeah, he also earlier said it was Luka's fault. You know, he was playing bad or something. I mean, maybe his dad was spitting. He's now getting his shot. He needs to channel his dad's basketball ability and ball out from here.
His dad was spitting when they have a 40-point lead.
Yeah, but regardless, the Mavericks at one point had a 48-point lead in the fourth quarter, the largest lead in the finals in the past 50 years. I said in our last video, I thought the Mavericks were going to get blown out. So credit for them. They got hot and completely blew out the Boston Celtics. So now, at least for one more game, the NBA season continues.
Yeah, and tonight we have game 5, and like the big question is obviously, do the Mavericks actually have a chance to prolong what seems like the inevitable? I mean, maybe, but if I'm gonna be honest, this game really reminded me of game 4 of the 2017 finals when the Cavs were down 0-3. They come back home and they have one of, if not maybe the best offensive performances in like recent NBA finals history, where they're like, what, 86 points at halftime, 49 points after the first quarter, just completely blew out the Warriors on their home court. Crowds chanting, you know, Cavs in 7, clap, 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 clap. And, you know, the people are wondering like, okay, you know, maybe Cleveland could do it. They came back from 3-1, and then they very convincingly got beaten game 5. So, I mean, the big difference though is that this Boston Celtics team does not have nearly the cachet that 2017 Warriors team have. And Celtics fans themselves might even still be thinking like, you know, until it's actually over, until the fat lady sings, until that final buzzer sounds, like there's always going to be that little sliver of doubt with them.
Yeah, I mean, your theory for picking the Mavericks was every single time this Celtics team has been close to a title, they've always come up short. And until they finally actually do it, until that buzzer sounds and Tatum celebrating and recreating the Kobe photo, there's still some life for the Mavericks. Obviously, they have to win game 5. And once again, like we've talked about, it's going to come down to the role players, and it's going to come down to their defense. Can they shoot well from 3, the role players again? Can Derek Lively have another big game and dominate the boards?
Can he hit another 3?
Probably not, but maybe. Can Tim Hardaway Jr. go 5 of 7 from 3 again? Absolutely not. But can he go like 2 of 3 or, you know, 2 of 5 or something? Can PJ Washington hit like 2 more threes? I mean, probably not based on what we've seen, but there's at least some life in. I think the Boston Celtics are going to be feeling a lot of pressure. I fully expect them to win. I don't want to give the wrong intention here at all, but can they please just win game 5, the Mavericks, because game 6 would be wild.
Oh, if game 6 goes back to Dallas, that would be incredible. But I'm fully with you. I fully expect Boston to win in game 5. I'm thinking, you know, 7-8 points. I think the Mavericks stick around for a little while, but I think eventually Boston pulls away. I will say though, I was a little bit concerned that the Celtics played this way in a game 4 where they had an opportunity to sweep, considering what happened to them last year, where they were on the other side of the team potentially blowing a 3-0 lead. Like the Heat had them dead and buried, and in that game 4, the Celtics came out and blew them out, and eventually they extended the series all the way to 7. Now they still lost, but I would have thought that the Celtics, having gone through that last year, would have come out and been like, all right, let's end it now. Let's not leave anything to chance. But, you know, they came out and they had a bad shooting night. It happens. Dallas had a good shooting night. It happens. So I'm gonna be really curious to see how they come out tonight in game 5.
Last thing we got to mention, the trap card the Boston Celtics still have. Kristaps Porzingis, he was active for game 4. I mean, I'm not surprised he didn't play. Like, why risk him in a game you could potentially sweep them? Like, you don't need to risk him there. But now for game 5, does he play in this game? A couple more days to kind of heal up. Game 6, I think he for sure plays, but that's still that thing they got in their back pocket. If things get really desperate, they can throw in Porzingis. I'm not sure if he plays game 5. I really don't know. I'm sure it's going to be like a day-to-day thing, a game time decision, but they still got Kristaps. I mean, you still got like a borderline star level player you can throw in if you get desperate. So they still got a lot going for them. I fully expect them to win game 5, but I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm rooting for the Mavericks. I want to see some drama and potentially the Celtics blowing a 3-1 lead in the finals. That would be the greatest thing to happen in basketball history.
Oh, that would be like what, 15 Christmases for you?
Yeah, maybe 20. So what do you guys think? Do the Dallas Mavericks have any sort of chance tonight, or is it just over in 5 and they prolong the inevitable? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and hey, while you're here, check out some of our other content as well, and don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.